KSNR, Koffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Koffin Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob. Joining me today is the one, the only, Killer Kross. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing very good, getting nervous. There's black helicopters flying around the building. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
What you did do here is you had an incredible match. You know, I know you're used to the big stadiums and wrestling that, but today you got to come to Orange County, California. I fell in love with it. You know, the way you were able to work this match, work through the crowd. How was it working that different style for you tonight?
This is my style. I mean, this is awesome. This is where I came up. This is where I grew up. It's an intimate setting. Being able to listen to the crowd, feel the crowd, depending on the city, the town, the state that you're in. Every crowd is different, and being able to gauge what they're looking for on a show-to-show basis and having the ability to give that to them and have that flexibility, it's what pro wrestling is all about to me.
I loved it, man. You were definitely able to go out there, hear the crowd, and give them what they wanted. But if we could kind of bring it back, when did you first fall in love with wrestling and you know that this was for you?
I mean, when I was a little kid, I think like the very first memory I could ever even recall was like the Ultimate Warrior beating Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. So I guess, you know, you could say I was pre-programmed as a child to fall in love with this. This was all part of the American dream for me, to get as gigantic as possible and scream and throw people and hit people with chairs. I mean, that's all I didn't want a regular job when I was little. I just wanted to hit someone with a chair and not go to jail. So
hey, man, and you're able to accomplish your dreams fucking pretty quickly. I mean, I know you did some stuff with Global, but pretty quickly you go to AAA and Lucha Underground. Mm-hmm. What was it like to work that Lucha Libre style as compared to the American style?
Well, the very first time that I remember seeing Lucha Libre was Ray and Hoovy in ECW. So I think that was 96. Mm-hmm. Probably got that wrong. And there's
maybe
someone
95.
flipping out right now watching this. Like I'm supposed to remember all this shit. But anyways, one side of my family is Greek, Italian, and Puerto Rican, and they came from San Juan. And I used to watch Lucha Libre with my grandfather. But that was like when I was really young. Like I didn't retain that type of stuff. But I mean, you know, growing up in a comic book era with Spider-Man and Superman, you never see anyone who even looks like that or can move like that in real life. And then there was Lucha Libre, and that was like the closest thing to me as a child, as comic books, seeing those guys doing all that, like getting powerbombed on cars. And so I fell in love with Lucha Libre as soon as I saw it. And as a child, I was like, it's kind of hard to become Hulk Hogan as a child. But if I can put this mask on, now I'm a luchador. It seemed more accessible to me as a kid. And so while I love Lucha Libre, I am not really a guy who likes to dive and do all the head scissors and stuff. I've hit a couple ranas from time to time, but I'm more of a bass guy. I enjoy being a bass for people. And it was actually Krista Joseph from Lucha Underground who actually organized, you know, my transition from the United States into Mexico into AAA, because I was working with Lucha Underground on season 2 and 3, and then 4 is where they saw me. And I believe at the time Vampiro had the book, and then once Conan had the book, I wound up just transitioning from those different people.
Yeah, and you've had some great matches there, and then you also had some great matches when you spent some time at Impact Wrestling. You know, you had some stuff with Moose or whoever it might have been. Who do you think you had the most chemistry with there?
Eddie Edwards.
Really? Yeah, you guys did have some good matches there.
Eddie Edwards. Because, I mean, Moose and I were close friends. We're all close friends there. But, I mean, Eddie and I have the same messed up sense of humor. And we love Japanese wrestling. We're huge All Japan marks. I loved UWFI, Kings Road, New Japan. And him and I just kind of spoke the same language in the ring and knew how to marry that Western storytelling style to hard-hitting Japanese stuff.
Hell yeah. And I think that's around that time is when I seen you at PCW. You had some great stuff there. You know, I saw the match with Chris Masters, but I think in summer 2018, what was I? You joined, 2020, you know, you make your debut in NXT. How did all that come together with you joining WWE at the time?
It was all a blur. I don't know. I'm kidding.
I'm like, okay.
Well, it went really well. So I've had an ongoing correspondence with WWE for like the last 7 years. I didn't understand how the transition of training inside like a warehouse, you know, and then transitioning to WWE worked. I figured you just learn how to wrestle and then you go to the tryouts. So like you can do that, but you'll be like on the back end of this insane roster where the bottom could just fall out and you could be fired and never even be seen on TV. So I went to some tryouts a couple times, and Karrion Seaman was my first point of contact, who unfortunately is no longer with the company. I love Karrion. And I just stayed in touch with him over the years, and he always told me everything straight. He was like, look, I see big money, big potential in you, but, this is, if I bring you in now, we're not going to be able to utilize you to your optimized potential. So just keep getting over, get better, and I promise you when the time is right, we'll pull the trigger. So I was like, okay, cool, and that's exactly how it happened. I mean, Hunter and Karrion basically facilitated that whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty quickly pick it up there. You have some dope matches. You win the NXT title off of Keith Lee at NXT 30. Unfortunately, you separate your shoulder. How bittersweet was that moment for you? I mean, you becoming the champion, but unfortunately being injured at the same time.
I mean, I chalked it up as a life lesson. I mean, shit happens. We got to adapt. It was probably one of the worst moments of my life because it was the accumulation of like all of my work. You know what I mean? And it's like every time you get in the ring and you put on your best performance, it is, for me, a dress rehearsal for the day you get called to have a title match for WWE. Mm-hmm. And for that to happen, of all the times, of all the nights, it happens there. I mean, it fucking sucked. And I'll just, instead I kind of spun it as an opportunity to showcase how tough I was, how committed I was to the business. I know a lot of guys, and I'm not throwing any shade at them at all, but like I know a lot of guys where they had that exact same injury and they didn't continue. And they told me that. And I was just like, I'll have my arm ripped off my fucking body before I quit and roll out of the ring. That's where I was at. And, now it's like it never even happened. I can do handstands and military press, and it's like it never even happened. I just fully rehabilitated it. I had an option. If you pick it up, you'll get stronger. I'm just saying. It's just the fucking advice, Gumby. Anyway, so I rehabbed it. I opted out of the surgery, and it's like it never even happened. So,
yeah, I mean, because you're able to come back from that injury, and you have some great matches with some great people. Like you had the Ciampa, you come back with Finn Balor, Keith Lee, the Samoa Joe matches. Who do you think you had some of your best matches with there?
Finn Balor, easily. I mean, him and I had natural chemistry in the ring. We knew what fans wanted to see, and we knew from a business standpoint what needed to be done. And I just felt like we just spoke the same language in the ring. That's just the best way I can put it. We had natural timing and chemistry. And, aside from that, though, Gargano was a blast to work with. I was happy I got my singles with him. Theory was great. I love Biff. Working with Biff was fun. We just used to beat the shit out of each other. Those are my favorites right off the top of my head. I wish I would have got a singles with Pete and Adam and Kyle. I really thought the direction we were going in was to drop the belt to Kyle, and that's no slight at Samoa Joe. I was a total pleasure to work with him. That was a blast. But I thought Kyle needed it a little bit more than Joe.
I thought
you know what I mean? But I was happy to do it that way. I don't care. People had a great time. As soon as I heard the reaction when I got pinned, I was like, perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. They're happy I'm dead. They're happy I'm going. They're happy Joe has the belt. My job was done. The heel closed the fucking story out. But yeah, I wish I got a couple of those matches in with them because we could have told some very unique stories.
Oh, absolutely, man. And I thought you were going to be, you still are incredible. You got the look, you got the mentality. I think you got the psychology behind the wrestling so well. And, it's hard for me to understand when they bring you up, onto the main roster and you, as the champion, and you have the match with Jeff, and unfortunately you lose it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but for you to lose the match, and I think for them to change the time of the match pretty quickly on you, when do you hear, like, okay, it's going from 10 minutes to, pretty quickly here?
Oh, that time? As soon as my entrance was done, the referee came up to me and he was like, dude, they just cut all the time off your match. You have like 90 seconds. And I said, oh. I said, great. And here comes Jeff. Oh, good. They got his music he was looking for. Oh, good. This is wonderful. I mean, I checked out. I checked out when that happened, and I just fucking laughed. Because, it's like, you can't let this stuff destroy you, like I said. And I want it to be clear, like, as if this is the first time anyone has ever heard me talk about WWE. I loved my entire time there, and I have nothing negative or derogatory to say, but that was a moment where it's like, we're not optimizing what we have here. But hey, fuck me, it's not my show. I don't write I just go out there and do what I was told, so,
No, it's fine. It is what it is. I just thought it was kind of funny, like, not funny, but they bring you kind of also change your gear a little bit. It's kind of like more of a Mad Max thing going on, and you never know what they're thinking, but do you think, any reasoning why they might have done that?
I've heard multiple versions of this. I heard that it was an idea from Vince. Then I heard that it was a collaborative idea from the creative team there. And then I've heard that no one knew where it came from, like, once we were 3 months deep. And I was like, what? And then someone said to me, like, isn't this your idea? And I said, no, this is not my idea. So I don't know what happened. But all I know is like, I had all the writers and the boys were all super supportive. I never dragged my feet. I came in with a smile on my face. Was never upset or angry. I was frustrated. I wanted it to work. You know what I mean? I didn't feel that I gave my best effort with what I was being given. You know what I mean? I can't control the whole operation.
No.
And nor am I supposed to. But I mean, what they gave me, I did my best with. But, you know, there has to be a common ground there. And clearly you could see that there wasn't. So
it is what it is.
Common ground effort. So.
You're there for 2.5 months. Unfortunately, you're let go. How would you describe your time there if you had to?
I wouldn't change anything. I know that might sound really crazy to some people, but if somebody put a crystal ball in front of me and said, when you go to WWE and you work for Vince McMahon and the whole world's watching you, this is exactly how it's going to go and this is how it's going to end. Do you still want to go? I would say yes, because I had an incredible experience. The last 4 months, I'm not letting that sour my experience there. I got to connect with the whole planet through World Wrestling Entertainment. I mean, I wouldn't trade that for anything. I had these ideas I've been camping out on, these creative ideas since I was a little kid watching WWE going, if somebody gave me a shot and they could see what I'm thinking and I could bring that to life for people, I know that it would be successful. And it was. So I'm like spiritually and mentally fulfilled with that. Was there more to do? Of course there was. Roman, Drew, Bobby, Bray. I mean, I could go on and on. Randy Riddle, like everybody, man. There's still so much unfinished there. Goldberg, Brock. But, you know, let's see what the future holds.
You never know. I mean, dude, you look amazing. You out there were killing it. You could work with the crowd so much, so perfectly, you know, but we're going to have to see. Pivoting away from WWE, you know, you and Scarlett are like the it couple of the wrestling community, you know?
Thank you.
What is it like dating another wrestler, or being with another wrestler?
It's not something I ever wanted, to be honest with you. I wanted to be frank with you, like, and maybe she'd probably say the same thing. I never really wanted to be in a relationship with somebody who was in the business, so when I came home, I could decompress and never have to think about wrestling. So I, like, could be recharged when I go back. But her and I are just so naturally compatible. Not only are we in a relationship, we're also best friends. We both have the same fucked up sense of humor about stuff, and we can just turn stuff on and off. Like, it's never ever been a problem. Like, we're always shocked how well this works because we see tag teams that like want to kill each other. You know what I mean? It's like her and I complement each other in so many different ways. Even when we disagree about something, we find a better way to do something, and it might not be what either one of us initially suggested. And I don't know, like, not to kill the magic for everybody, but like, we love becoming these characters for you, but at home we're like fucking hippies. We like to hang out outside and go to the beach. We're outdoors people. Like, you know, they come up with all of these like antichrist versions of you online and think that you're all this crazy shit. Like, it couldn't be farther from the truth. So we just laugh at it and just, you know, get on with our fucking lives. Like, so but we love entertaining people, and we love playing the bad guys. And tonight it was nice. I just got to be myself and breathe with you guys, you know. So
hell yeah, that's so amazing. Can you tell us about Control Your Narrative? You guys kind of got something going on as well with that, don't you?
Control Your Narrative with EC3 and Braun Strowman or Adam Scherr. Yeah, you'll see.
Okay, very cool, man. Well, you know, I just wanted to thank you so much for your time, you know. I know you don't have to say where you're going or anything like that, but what do you have planned for your future for wrestling?
You'll know in about a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Oh, all right.
That's breaking news, too.
Thank you, bro. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much. For Killer Kross, I am Heartthrob Rob, and if you like what you're watching, then hop in the coffin. Follow us on social media at Koffin Radio. Oh, sorry, I didn't ask you. Any shout-outs? Where can people follow you on social media?
At Real Killer Kross on social media platforms across the globe. KillerKross.com. Yeah, merchandise, link trees, everything's attached. I got a YouTube channel. Completely free content. My entire career chronologically ordered on a playlist. Enjoy it. It's free. Watch it. I'm doing new videos all the time for you, for your entertainment.
Hell yes. Thank you so much. Killer Kross. I am Heartthrob Rob. If you like what you're watching, then hop in the coffin. Follow us on social media at Koffin Radio. Koffin is spelled with a K. And that's all for today.
ASMR Koffin Radio.